They are at the start of their journey, they think outside the box, and they often come up with bright ideas. Their projects are innovative, they are a new generation of business people, and their distinguishing features are creativity and enthusiasm. This is the world of startups, the program about IT developers and the industry of startups. Hello and welcome to the world of startups. I'm Serik Akishev. We talk about IT business, internet services and gadgets, as well as about people who cannot imagine their lives without new technologies. Watch on this edition. What kind of startups do banks invest in? Find out from our report. Business angels versus venture capitalists. Who wins? I want to create something on my own. I'm the main investor. I'm always in the board of directors of these companies and I help these startups. When it comes to investing projects, I'm in charge for this.
Planning it with MindMeister, the super intuitive app.
The correspondents of the world of startups have studied the peculiarities of co-creation. The number of services that offer banking operations that are carried out independently from banks is increasing. They are mostly mobile applications for money transfer. This competition makes the market players create their own applications or invest in startups. If you don't know about the current trends in banking and how to get investments from banks, our team talks about it in the upcoming report. Every startup knows that even if you have a brilliant idea, a thorough business plan and a good team, this won't guarantee investments. Of course, one can turn to banks for a loan, however, the loan seeker may get disappointed. There are a number of reasons why investors are not willing to invest in startups, and even if your project is a dream of any startup, such as an internal engine. This engine works on the principle of the gravity of the compressed air and the atmospheric pressure that cause the production of electricity. The IZ engine by Izetalit Leshev produces electricity literally from nothing. The atmospheric pressure that has an effect on all subjects on the planet makes a special valve rotate, which results in energy production. The creators of the engine, made in Kazakhstan, need 200 million tenge just to buy the necessary equipment. Financing is of course easier done in funds because banks have complicated and time-consuming procedures. These questions were discussed at the first Eurasian Investment Banking Forum, which has recently been held in Almaty.
Well, banks have a difficult time investing in startups simply because banks invest in things they understand, things they know. They're investing in the sale of a car, a Ferrari, a Lada, it's a car. But a startup represents something new, disruptive, a new technology. Banks don't understand this, it's too risky, they don't invest.
But things are not that bad. For example, Kazakhstani fund Damu takes responsibilities for financing startups and part of paying for loans. Guarantees from Fund Damu allow banks to minimize risks by 70%. In case of the default, the Damu fund takes responsibilities for paying 70% of the default sum. Such preferential loans for startups are given as part of program Business 2020 initiated by the government to support local businesses. In order to participate in it, a business person has to be under 29 years old. It works in a very straightforward way. You come to the bank, it considers your candidature for the loan guaranteed by Fund Damu. The interest rate shouldn't be higher than 14% a year and the loan shouldn't be more than 20 million tenge. The priority directions which Fund Damu supports business people in are in agribusiness, car manufacturing, information technologies and healthcare. So if your startup is one of these sectors, don't miss this opportunity. Time is money. In different stages of the business development, you may come across offers from different investors. Some of them may offer big money, some of them may be useful with their networks. How is it possible to choose the right business partner? Find out about how to make the right choice in our next report.
Вы узнаете из следующего репортажа.
Investments in startups is a kind of lottery, and not only for business angels, but for startups themselves. Even if your idea is worth $1 million, one needs to know when and who they need to turn to for the initial capital. Experienced mentors believe that a lot of financing at the start may spoil a startup, and they won't arrive anywhere. One needs to find an investor who is suitable for them.
Which invest to startups, but not in the early phase. And then there are business angels and, let's say, family offices.
A venture capitalist is an investor that makes long-term investments in shares and enterprises of high risk, expecting big profits. Usually venture capitalists unite in venture funds. Currently in Kazakhstan there are 12 such institutions. However, one can count business angels on one hand.
Still the key element of business angel is to be close, the trusted advisor to the entrepreneur.
A business angel is a private investor who invests in innovative projects at an initial stage of the business for the return of the capital and share in the business. One of the successful business angels in Kazakhstan is Kenes Rakishev. This entrepreneur invests generously in various innovative startup projects, both in Kazakhstan and abroad. His most successful investment, as he says, was in Israeli invention StoreDot. It's a battery for a smartphone which charges in 30 seconds. We started the project in its infancy stage, when it was just an idea from 3 professors from an Israeli university. Today it's a company with a revenue of $50 million. By 2016, the work on the battery will be finished. The third kind of investor is quite obvious. They are banks. Their logic is simple. The idea and the team are not valuable for them. They only calculate all the risks mathematically. Now you have a clear picture of all the kinds of investors, and you can make a careful choice. The most important thing you should remember is that an investor is just your business partner, no more than that. The number of freelance workers around the globe has exceeded 100 million people, and this is not surprising considering open access to the internet. Hundreds of people from different parts of the world may work at the same project. Every day for these creative people, dozens of programs are created. Janaydar, could you send me the documents about the participants? Janaydar, call experts in innovative projects for children. Janaydar Temirbekov keeps himself very busy. He makes dozens of phone calls and writes a large number of emails every day. The amount of work is increasing every day, so we have to cope with it. And I can't always be available in the office because I may hold a lot of meetings. I often have to be in more than 1 or 2 places at a time. At the same time, my colleagues may expect me to send an important document urgently. Probably Janaydar's problems are familiar to many Kazakhstani working adults. Everyone tries to deal with the problem of lack of time in their own way. Some hire people and delegate them part of work, some use technology and services that make people's lives a lot easier. Through Google, my colleagues send me the calendar of arrangements, who we meet with and when, and the agenda of the event. Apart from the Google Calendar, there are a few more or less familiar but effective services for distance work. One of them is JumpShare, a cloud file share service with online preview. It supports 150 file formats, vector graphics, charts, presentations and films, everything that can be sent by emails.
Planning it with MindMeister, the super intuitive app that uses mind mapping science.
Another service is called MindMeister, a kind of analog of handwritten maps on a computer with space for virtual planning. It has other functions suitable for office work as well. It's a wonderful opportunity for teamwork and brainstorming. In my opinion, today a successful person, and generally anyone who values their time and efficiency, cannot work without new technologies. In addition to services we have already talked about, there are many others. You can find out about them from our groups on vk.com and Facebook. That's all we've got time for today. We believe our advice can help both ordinary startups become successful business people and average computer users become advanced ones. I'm Serik Akishev. See you next time on Kazakh TV.